So I think a lot of Americans are really trying to be really hopeful and optimistic, but I think a lot of people really come to realization on what's going on here in this country. I got a few clips. Check them out, and I'll come back with my commentary.
I'm fucking stressed out. I'm stressed. We should not be working like this. I work my job and I can't even pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and like buying all and just you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
This housing crisis is a real thing. I walk every morning in my complex, and every week almost I see people have been evicted. And where it used to be that there were places that provided resources for families going through financial hardships, a lot of these people have been depleted of their funds because that's just how many people are in need right now. So you can't even get help like you used to when you can't afford to pay your rent because of whatever factors, because everybody's situation is not the same. But the main problem is people are not being paid enough to live a sustainable life. Like you have to have a two-person income to sustain a livable situation where you're not struggling, where you're not, you know, paying robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's so sad. There is just no way in 2026 the minimum wage should be $7.25. Don't know which jobs are paying that, but the fact that there are jobs that pay that is ridiculous. And for some people that's their only option. And even $20 in 2026 is not sufficient to live a sustainable lifestyle. And this is not even my regular content, but I was on my walk this morning and saw two other people that have, their stuff was out on the curb. And a lot of us are not far removed from that. We're not mad enough. We're not mad enough.
It's being reported that 40% of American adults are not working right now. Now, within this 40%, that may include retired people, students that choose not to work, caregivers that work at home, anybody that for any reason may not be in the workforce. I say that to give clarity, but I don't think this erases the direness of where we are at this moment. Nearly 4 in every 10 adults is without work right now. Something tells me that many of those without work right now are not choosing to be unemployed. There's simply no work to be hired for. Jobs are more likely to put open an application for your data and to take the ideas you put in the application than they are to hire you for the position. Internal selection is at an all-time high. Sometimes it can feel like the interviewing process for certain jobs are a humiliation ritual. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, around 9 million people were laid off in just the first 5 months of 2026 alone. When layoffs happen, workers that still have jobs are even more exploited because the work is still there and the labor force is diminished. If this doesn't tell you anything now more than ever, go after your passion because eventually there will be no jobs to get. The only job you'll have now is the one you create for yourself.
Millions of Americans are going broke. Like, most people that I've talked to say that they have 2 jobs. And when you hear people talking about AI coming and taking the jobs, well, what about all those people that complain about going to work? Yeah, like, those ones that are like, oh my gosh, it's Monday. Why are those people complaining about AI coming to take their job? Like, you would think they'd be like, yeah, hurry, come on, take it. Like, I'm not trying to go to work on Monday. But no, they're complaining about it. I mean, that on top of society nowadays, like, I just want to say everybody is looking beautiful. Like, everybody is at their finest degree of living, I swear. And yet there's still people out here single. Like, I'm still single. Crazy. But we're over here looking for, from a woman's perspective, saying she's looking for the right guy, a good guy. I feel like I'm a good guy. But then this woman in this situation isn't the right woman. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody's trying to qualify, we're overqualifying, and people are waiting until they're like at a position of like perfect in their life before they go reaching out. You know, what happened back in the day when we built a life together? I don't know, maybe that's just like a distant memory, or maybe that's all it ever was a memory, or maybe just a dream. You know, some would say a fairy tale, who knows? But yeah, if you hadn't already, like this video and follow for more.
What's up, America? 60% of Americans are now having trouble affording groceries for themselves or their families. And the average cost of eating at home has increased 33% in the last 2 years, up anywhere between 30% and 100% in the last 5.5 years. And eating out at restaurants costs an average of 50% more than it did just 3 or 4 years ago. Prices are going up to the point where people are really starting to struggle. The use of coupons is coming back heavily, but basically people are stating that they're just buying what's on sale. At this point, they're not caring about name brand or store brands. They're caring about just what's on sale that they can purchase. And then they bring it home and eat it because it's all they can afford. The cheapest that you can possibly buy. Now that's what's happening for approximately 60% of the United States. And the prices, no matter where you're at, even if you shop at Aldi, are going up through the roof. There is no end to this in sight. Now, one of the major campaign promises was getting the cost of living down here in the United States on day one, if everybody remembers that. I remember it. Pepperidge Farms fucking remembers it. Day one, we're going to start working on getting prices lower. Remember that? I fucking remember that. So if you account for Joe Biden's price increases and then what we're dealing with now, we're basically in 5.5 years of absolute suffering with price gouging. Because yes, prices have gone up in some cases, but most of this, I would say probably 60 to 70% of the price increase is just stealing from you. It's gouging for profit. You have your fuel prices and your transport costs. That's all basically together. You have increasing costs of goods and services anyway, and then you have price gouging. I have a feeling if price gouging was made illegal and it was enforced, that all of a sudden prices would come down by 50% in a weekend, wouldn't they? Either way, this is becoming unsustainable for the American people and something needs to be done, but I bet you dollars to fucking donuts, not a thing will be done. It'll get worse and worse and you'll struggle and struggle until eventually the masses will vote in a socialist dystopian nightmare, initially making it slightly better, then crashing it even fucking worse. Yay, future!
So when do we stop being broke as fuck? Can anybody answer that? Because it seems like the longer we go, the worse it gets. This isn't even a political thing. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on. It's only been getting worse every year for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 decades. If you look at other nations, it almost seems like as the time goes, their nation gets better, not just with technology, but with society and also their economy. And yet somehow we have cameras that can zoom in on your neighbor doing weird shit in their yard, and our economy still sucks ass. Out here feeling like you spent your life savings gambling when all you did is actually buy groceries. And I know it's the season of them kicking the can down the road like they do, oh, I don't know, every 20 years or so. But for whatever reason, this shit is taking too long. It used to be that you could go to work all day and at least have just the basic shit. You could come home and at least eat a good meal. Now, you work your ass off and actually work overtime and you're still eating ramen noodles. But don't worry, everyone. We're gonna make sure we have plenty of entertainment for you because it's not like you can actually leave your house to go do anything.
If you're ever questioning the economy and how bad it is, but yet you see people in the stores spending tons of money, the shelves are never full, people are out to the movies and dinner and doing everything, well, it's because there's a big part of the population of the USA that are doing actually really good right now. I would say about 40%, about 109 million people are doing fine. You know, they're getting by. They can go spend money. They're doing great. You know, they're holding those high-end jobs, those more coveted positions. They're doing all right. Their kids are going to great schools. They're doing great. But 60% of Americans are not doing fine. When you are out and about, you are seeing the haves and have-nots. because those 60% of Americans, they're not going out. Those aren't the people spending buku bucks out there. And if they are, they're running up debt because they're desperate and they need things. That's the reality right now. And 60% is a fucking failing grade. So I don't want to hear this argument that the economy is doing better than ever. Sure, maybe for some. But again, we are the United States. This is why social programs matter. This is why pay matters. I just saw a gentleman that works at a warehouse that said he had 40 employees that were working there typically. Now they have 14 for the past couple years, and the company's still making record profits off of their backs. All these corporations are running lean as hell, and they're paying their employees as little as they can and making them pick up the slack from all the people they've been cutting. So this economy is not doing good. Like I said, maybe for a few, but if it's not benefiting all Americans, then it is failing. And we need to fucking make change. That's the point.
There you have it. So as you saw in those last few clips, you know, people are really, really concerned. People are crashing out. People are really just wondering, like, when is everything gonna get better? A lot of people are cutting back. People are not going out to eat as much. Leave a comment down below if, as of late, have you been kind of really looking at your finances and just kind of dialing back a few different things, meaning that you're not spending as much as you once was. But yeah, it's a serious situation as of late. Let's get the conversation started in the comments. Tell me what you think. What have you been doing? And if y'all have any type of ideas, share it amongst yourselves down in the comments, because you know, everybody has some type of know or insight or different outlook about different things. I appreciate you hearing what I gotta say, and I'll catch you on the next one.